Ohio State coming to town. They haven't been here for a couple of years, but good to see old friend Tom Ryan and pretty competitive Buckeye squad coming to town.
They are fired up, I'm sure. Tom Ryan, as far as colleagues go, definitely one of my favorites, for sure. We got to be ready.
How advantageous is it to have a team like Ohio State ahead of the Penn State duel so guys aren't looking ahead at all, just having a worthy opponent, the Buckeyes?
I think the way that you're wired as a top flight competitor, I think you keep that in perspective anyway. But it is, maybe tough to stray when you're maybe not tested like maybe Ohio State can test us. But we're in the Big Ten now, so we're going to get everybody's best shot, and we got to be ready to go.
Gabe Arnold has talked about how he likes to put on a show on the mat. He seems like a really energetic and kind of fun individual. How is he off the mat, or what's his personality like maybe away from wrestling?
He's the same and maybe even better. And what I mean by that is when you put him in front of fans or you ask him to do like a thankathon, or you ask him to do something that's community service driven, he is the best. And don't take my word for that. That is coming from the people that interact with him. That's coming from people that he had a blog, and a guy couldn't say enough about Gabe Arnold's personality. And that goes, I was in Paris and I needed someone to run a group of 90 people through this facility. And I called Gabe Arnold and he did it. And I got 40 compliments on him from that group. And that was a group of Iowa's best fans. And I'm not talking about Iowa wrestling's best fans. I'm talking about Iowa athletics' best fans. And it was football season. So he represents himself well, and that's a good pickup.
Does that help you as a coach to have an ambassador like that?
It doesn't help me as a coach as far as me. Here's the thing. I'm a coach that's about performance. So this doesn't make it easier for me to maybe, talk to him about performance things. It's the same either way, whether you're, blessed with people skills or not. We still got to perform. What's nice about it as a coach is you're bringing in guys that can relate and that are really, really good people. And so that impacts your locker room. That impacts your recruiting because parents see that. It's not so much even his peers, his future peers seeing that, which that's part of it. But parents see that, and they pick up on that, and they compliment that on Gabe Arnold. So that's the other side of running a program that's, very, importantly linked to the performance side. We still got to perform, though. We still got to go out and score points. So let's not make this about, we got a really good kid, but, oh, shucks, he just didn't get it done.
No.
We got a really good kid, but let's go out and whip some ass.
How does he flip that switch to get to them when it's in competition?
He's what you just said. You started the question out by saying that he is a guy that thrives in the limelight, to paraphrase you, and that's what he does. He loves the limelight. He loves to compete. He loves to put on a show. He's a showman. He's an entertainer. I mean, the guy's an entertainer. So good for him.
Last year, he said, one of the things he said was like 174, 184, I don't care, I'm a soldier, I'm going to do what Tom and Terry Brandt say. How valuable is that, having a guy also that's flexible to do whatever is needed for the team when he's talented like that?
We're going to put the best team on the mat, and that's great, and that's noble for him. But we want our individuals to succeed and be successful, and so we're going to give them their best chance. And along with that, we're going to put the best team on the mat. And, we got a little bit of a log jam there, So we'll see how it shakes out.
You do have that too at some other positions. How much do you like that as a coach to have that kind of depth and choices?
I think it's important for your team. I think it's critical. It's crucial. Health isn't, you don't take health for granted, and you got to have the next man up when it's time to have that next man up, and you want reliable people. You want reliable wrestlers.
So Ja'Cory Teamer potentially in at 157. How important is it to kind of get him rolling and get some matches in here?
I mean, we're going to not sacrifice health, but it's important if he can go. If he can't go, the most important thing is to continue to build him so he can go. And we're at that point where we've gotten to that point where he could probably go.
How has that work back been for him?
Good. You talk about a character. He's a character. It's been really good.
There's an announcement about the National Duels Invitational being in November. Have you seen that? And is that anything that kind of interests you as far as involvement goes?
I have seen it. There's been a lot of in-depth dialogue, and we are excited about it. We're very excited about it. I think there's other opportunities there as well. And as we get closer to, I guess they said that it's going to be August. I mean, I think you'll know before then, but as you get closer to August when the teams are announced, there's some things that are even above and beyond that. And that's exciting for a program, especially a program like the University of Iowa Wrestling. Especially like Iowa Wrestling.
As a former wrestler, how much would you have liked to have had opportunities like that where you could get paid and that sort of thing?
I mean, that's not why you do
Right.
it. I mean, there's just a lot of things that go through my head with that question, and the bottom line is you got to love what you do,
Sure.
No matter what you're being compensated first. You got to love it first. Mm-hmm. And when you love it, you will be successful. When you're successful, the rest falls into place. And it's always been that way. Always has been that way. It's just a little bit more lucrative now. Just a little bit more lucrative now for eligible college athletes.
One more. How important do you think the national duels would be from a promotion aspect, getting wrestling out there on a big stage like
I
that?
think you're going to have, a lot of powerful teams in there. And I think when you throw that kind of money, I think it makes people look, and it captures their imagination, and they want to do it. And this is something that's a little bit different. It's been talked about a lot. I don't think it's about whether it's the best timing. I don't think it's about whether wrestling needs this or not. What you're doing is you had a guy step up in a big way and put his money where his mouth is, and now you're going to have people, wanting to be a part of it. And I mean, what do they say? Money talks, and what else? What else walks? And money's talking right now. So awesome! It's awesome. It really is awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir.